Markeisha Williams, April Nash.
Hey, how you doing?
All right, you gotta turn your camera on, Miss Williams.
It says I can't do it because you
No, turn your camera on. There you
Okay.
go. If you raise your right hand. Got to see your head and your face, Miss Nash, and your hand. Raise your right hand. Your military right. You swear firm testimony about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Both of you nod your heads. Okay. Ms. Williams, start for the most recent event, and Ms. Nash, don't interrupt her, and I'm not going to let her interrupt you. And go backwards and tell me why you were seeking a stalking TPO. You got to give me dates and something that happened. Okay. So you go first, Ms. Williams, and now let Ms. Nash respond.
So all this started about June of 2022. She sent her friend right here. I don't know if you can see this right here to follow me.
Tell me what's happened in 2023 and work back.
Okay, so so I got this paper right here. On about February 7, 2023, April Nash came to my apartment, my rent office about me, Markeisha Williams. She was trying to request.
Okay, Williams, don't read. Just tell me what happened. We're just having a conversation.
Okay. So she came to my rent office and was trying to request information about me and give them information saying that a felony was staying with me because I live on a based on income apartment. She's threatening to get me put out my apartment with my daughter. She said, you and your daughter will be living outside. And I bet you on that. I have evidence on that right there with text messages. And she came up there. So I called them. They said they didn't get one. No one came up there on that. Then I was like on a Tuesday, she went up there. So I called that Monday. They said no one came. Then on Tuesday, they called me and said that they had a young lady come up here requesting information about me, but they said they cannot give that information because she don't live on her property. And they advised her that she's trespassing at this point and that she needs to, vacate the property. So after that, I received phone calls from her. Well,
okay, how do you know? Hold on. How do you know the phone calls were from her? I know it's kind of a dumb question, but how do you know it's from her?
Because I talked to her on the private call.
Okay. So you heard her voice. How many times did she call you?
Can I get this paper right quick to see? I have it printed out.
Go ahead. You can pull it, Matt. You can look at it.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so once she haven't called ever since that day. So once that was over with, I have been in contact with Eric Bridges because he's locked up. And she have told him that she was going to get me put out my apartment and that she was going to have him locked up and can't spend time with me or my daughter for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or for his birthday. So she has been harassing me and stalking me. And I came to find out prior to that she has a friend that lives on the 4th floor that worked at Metro PCS that she get information from. And I do have that paper that I gave you. That is the rent office with their signature on there and my signature. And they said if we need video, they can send the video in of her inside of the rent office.
So what did she say in those phone calls? And give me the date she gave you those phone calls.
Those phone calls were prior, like right before she came to the apartment that she threatened me. That was around, I think, the end of January.
I need to know when she called you and what she said to you.
She called me around, that had to be January 27th towards the end. You're going to be getting put out your apartment. You and your daughter will be homeless. If you think you're going to deal with Eric Bridges, because he ain't going nowhere. He's going to F with me. And that's what she said. So
what is I'd say there's a relate, but what is the relationship with y'all? Friends, former friends? How do y'all know each other?
I don't even know this young lady. She threatened everyone that talks to Eric. She's threatened his mother.
So who is Eric then? Is that somebody that?
Eric Bridges is my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
When he left my house.
She's dating him now.
Yes, when he left my house, he went down there to her house. And when he don't answer the phone for her, she calls me and harasses me. And says that I know he over there. Sometimes she'll just sit and hold the phone and be like, yeah, I say, April, what do you want? Because I already know it's her. When she's calling private, or she will call from text-free apps numbers. And I have those messages, those calls logged too. She'll say, I know he was over there. Oh, will you tell him he going to jail since he over there mess with you? I just want you to know he ain't gonna leave me alone. All y'all, excuse my language, all y'all HOEs that's messing with him got herpes, all this and that. You might as well go get checked. And I'm glad you effed him raw. You thought you was pregnant by him and all this and that. Like, she just keep harassing me. And then she put my daughter in this to the point where my daughter is afraid. And she made this here, if you don't mind me showing you, Your Honor. And I'm afraid of my life because I think she will kill me or try to kill me. She has a rest in peace Bugatti shirt. He's not even dead. That is Mr. Eric Bridges. Her name is right at the top, April Nash.
Okay, so she made that about Bridges.
Yes.
So, but why does that make you scared for you?
Because if she's threatening him, I feel like she would do anything like threaten me. Well, she already have, you and your daughter will be put out of that based on income apartment. So if you came to my apartment and you know she knows my whole address, apartment number and all, that means you will come up my floor. She told him over the phone, she has the elevator and I walked up the steps. So that means you will come to my door and knock on my door. If you're doing all this about Mr. Bridges, you will hurt me.
All right, Miss Nash, let me hear from you. Why are you calling her, going over there? And why in the world do women fight over anybody?
Let me tell you, Judge, all of this the only reason why I know her is through Eric Bridges. And, I don't know, but me and Pillow talk. And when he's there, he discusses me. And when he's here, he discusses her. So she has my address from him. That's all I have, her address. And Your Honor, Your Honor, when I went to the rent office, I went to her rent office to inform her rent office that Eric Bridges was living there and he had an active warrant. I wasn't going to get her put out. And I know she lives on a based on income apartment. I know those are subsidized apartments. And the only people that can be in them is the people that's on the lease. So yes, I did go to her rent office and I told her that I didn't sign any paperwork or anything. And I have texts from Arkeisha Williams. Give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, Ms. Nash.
Yes.
Are you still seeing him?
He's seeing the both of us, but not now. He's incarcerated.
Okay, so why did you go over there and let them know that? I
went over there because the police was coming to my home looking for him, right? And I was informing him where he was residing at. So when I went to,
you didn't have to go to the apartment complex and do that.
I didn't have to, but and let me ask you another question, Your Honor. That was my very first time there. How is that trespassing? That's a public place. Yep, that's a public place.
Why? It seems like the problem is the man. If he's over there talking.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So then why don't y'all both just dump him? Why don't you dump him, Miss Nash? If you don't want him to be at your house, Miss Nash, and talk about Miss Williams, then get rid of him.
Could I say something, Your Honor?
Yeah, well, yeah, and if he's at your house, Miss Nash, why don't you get rid of him? Unless he's the child's father, then you got to have some sort of.
Well, he's not my child's father. He's the stepfather of her. I was once pregnant by him, but I lost a child due to incidents.
So he's a father figure in your child's life.
It's very, and my child, she's like, April Nash has him locked up right now, accusing him of stalking her, harassing her. But how is he stalking you when he have a key to your apartment? His clothes is down there.
We're not going to talk back and forth to one another.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. Listen, can you see this? Let me blow it up so you can see it. This is Arkeisha's cell phone number, and this is the type of thing she texts me. Can you see that?
Oh, my girl.
That's your number.
All right.
That's her number.
Read what it says, because it's read what it says, Miss Nash.
Okay, it says, bye, bitch. I gave you enough of my time. Get the same ass curtains you've been having since Boo is Eric, has been fucking with you out your house. It's okay to have two. I'm good on all my bills. My bills are paid too. It says, enjoy, bitch, and come find me, ho, since you say you know my location. As a matter of fact, tell Eric to tell you since he tell you everything. See, these are the type of messages that I get from her direct number. But Your Honor, let me tell you what she'll do. Her and her friends, they'll text each other on a text now number and pretend as if it's me. That's why I called Lieutenant Hudson to inform him. Like, I don't want, listen, even if you do the restraining order, which that's fine, I don't want her to have a situation or have anything over me like where she can call or play on the phone and pretend as if it's me.
Once
Because
again,
they be doing that on text now numbers.
Ms. Williams, she just said, if you want a restraining order, that's fine. Ms.
Okay,
Williams,
that's fine, Your Honor, but I do.
hold on. But this is also gonna mean I don't want you reaching out to Ms. Nash.
Your Honor, seriously, excuse me, Mona. I have his mom here and the ex-girlfriend. She has played on her phone as well. This girl is making up.
Ms. Williams, just say you're not gonna reach out to Ms. Nash.
Oh, I'm not. I don't want to reach out to her at all. You can also do a restraining order on me, but the same thing.
Solid, so I can't do it. But I just don't contact one another. And both of y'all, I mean, Ms. Nash dumped the man. I mean, you got.
I'm not gonna dump it. Listen, Your Honor, listen to me, okay? I just want.
If you got him locked up for stalking, and I hope he would want to be with you again, because that's just.
She don't have him locked up.
Your Honor, that's not why he's locked up. He's not locked up for stalking. That's not why he's locked up.
Your Honor, look him up. Yes, it is. Mr. Eric Bridges. She lied and said she wanted to deny the bond, so they gave him a hire with domestic violence. His mom, his brother, and the ex-girlfriend is right here. I am not lying. She called the probation office. She said she want him locked up for me and my daughter will not spend time with him for Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, no, none of that. She
sound ridiculous because he
was both of y'all, stop. Goodness gracious. All right, go put it in place. Put in place. Nah, stop talking to her. I don't know. Don't be put in place. Put your emails in the chat. We'll send y'all the order. Once y'all place your emails in the chat, send it to Ms. Free, or you can send it to everybody because it's just us here, and Ms. Free will get it. And we'll email you copies of the order.
Okay, can I say something?
Your Honor, can I get a restraining order out on her also?
You can have one, but I know
I want to have one.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, we don't need to. I've put it in place. I'm gonna step off the bench because I gotta let these other people in a couple of minutes. So y'all place your emails in the chat. Don't talk to one another and leave the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you're for a TPO, turn your camera on and stay on mute. Cameras on, stay on mute. Cameras on and stay on mute. Cameras on, stay on mute. No driving. Cameras on, stay on mute. No driving. Cameras on, stay on mute. Need to see everybody's camera on if you're here for the TPO. Turn your camera on, stay on mute. Ms. Nash, once you put your email in the chat, you can leave. Cameras on and stay on mute. If you're here for a TPO, 12:30 counter, cameras on, stay on mute. Got one more person waiting to join. Cameras on, everybody stay on mute. We're still got one person that's having a little bit of trouble joining. All right, there's Miss Loves. So she connects audio. Everybody, when I call your name, please take yourself off mute and answer here. You've got to hit that button and take yourself off mute and answer here. Have to. All right, there's one screen name that says Bo. No matter how many messages I sent to the waiting room that said change your screen name to your name, you left it as Bo. So Bo, don't take yourself off mute. Just figure out how to change it. Devontae Brown, got to see your entire head. Got to see your face, not the ceiling, your face. Are you driving? Mr. Brown, are you driving?
I'm at work on lunch.
Okay, well, I still got to see your face.
Okay.
No, she's back now. So really quick, you folks, I'm going to hear Mr. Brown and Ms. Anderson first since he's sitting in his car. So Mr. Brown, I need Katrina Anderson. Ms. Anderson, I need to see your entire face. All right, both of y'all raise your right hands for me. Anderson and Brown. Y'all swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Nod your heads. And Mr. DeBarge, you can shut your camera off if you want until we get back to your case. Ms. Smith, we'll take your case in a little bit too, so you can also shut your camera off. Mr. DeBarge, you can shut your camera off if you'd like. All right, you can put your hands down. Okay, Mr. Brown, tell me, give me dates. So, and tell me what is going on, because you see this dating violence. I want dates and stuff. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Okay, if you have your
Hello?
stuff
Can
in
you hear me?
Bluetooth, you're gonna have to take it off Bluetooth. Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Man, that shit tripping.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, my bad.
All right, so I'm going to see your face, not your eyes. Start from the most recent event, work backwards, give me dates and something specific that happened. If she threatens you,
All right.
she threatened me and tell me what happened. If I start talking, Ms. Anderson and Mr. Brown, y'all stop talking or I will mute you. So don't just talk without listening because I may interrupt you. And so if you give me something that she did, give me a date, or at least if you don't know the exact date, you say the first week of February. So start with the most recent event. So whatever's happened in March or February or January of 2023, and then work backwards. Go ahead.
All right. The most recent, this was in like the middle of, I want to say January. Or yeah, middle of January, about like around the 16th. But she came to my house, came outside my house, and I had somebody else there with me. She basically trying to fight the other person that was in the house with me. And she poured mustard on my car.
Hey, hold on, stop you. Did you see her pour mustard on your car?
She actually took a picture on top of my car.
Okay, so you know that it was her that did that.
Definitely know it was her.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, she poured mustard on it, and I think it was sugar or salt. It was one of them. And I think she may have keyed it that day, or this was before then. But I noticed my car is keyed, so she keyed it. I'm not saying it was that same day, but it was a lot more situations. So that was just the most recent one. So
Okay.
before that.
All
right. So before that, she this was in December. She made a fake page, posted videos of me and her, intimate videos, all over the internet. Sent it to my family members, and what else?
So let me ask you another. Like I said, you may think it's a dumb question. So how do you know that she made the fake page? Is it because those videos only she would have had?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That was the only she the only one that had the videos.
Okay. What else?
And she I sent it to my family members, posted them online, did all that. And then that was like I said, that was in December. And then in between that, the whole time she's been harassing me, texting me, calling my phone from different numbers. I blocked the number, she make another one.
All right, another question. So how do you know that it's her call?
How she calling me or what she saying?
You know that it's her.
With the messages that I'm getting. She'd be like, come outside, or I'm trying.
Is it her voice, or do you know the number that she's calling from?
No, like I say, it's multiple numbers, but you can make, what I'm saying, you can get an app and make.
No, I understand that, Mr. Brown. Yeah. What I need to know is how do you know it was her at that?
Oh.
Is it because she says come outside and you look outside and she's sitting there waiting on you,
Nah, like I say, I don't even be acknowledging them. I don't even say anything back, but she be talking to me and then be like, come outside, or I'm trying to do this. Basically, it can't be anyone but her saying these things.
All right, how often has she done that?
And this is, she recently stopped once she got them papers served to her, but before that, it was constantly. I'm talking about almost every other day, I guess when she bored or whatever, but this was constant. She was doing it every day, coming with different numbers, testing the same numbers. It's constant.
Okay. Let me hear from you, Ms. Anderson. Tell me what's happening.
First I want to start with the videos of me and him, because actually Vontae know just as much as I know that. First of all, I don't know any of his family. So how would I possibly be able to send any videos to them?
You posted them on social media.
And second of all, why? And
I want to see the videos. Just you said you
okay.
posted them on social media.
And then he also knows that I don't have no videos of us. And the videos that I do have of us is us having, doing inappropriate things. And I would not post those online. So I don't know where those lies came from, but that did not happen because I don't know his family. And the only videos I have
Your
are
face, Ms. Anderson.
inappropriate.
Your face.
Huh?
Let me see your face while you're talking and be still.
Sorry.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so I don't know where that came from with the family and all that stuff, because I don't even know his family. And I never made fake pages and sent no videos, because like I said, the only videos we have are us having sex, and I would never do nothing like that, send that to nobody or post that online. So I don't know where that came from. Shoot. As far as the car,
Oh.
go ahead.
The text messages and the calls.
I did text him a couple times, but I didn't text him a lot of times. Like I probably text him 3-4 times, but like it wasn't just like, up to, it wasn't constant. But as far as the car, I did do the mustard, but I did go back and I wiped it off the next morning because I did feel guilty about it. So, and then I don't know about the keying. I did not key the car. I don't know if that was already there, but I did not key the car. So yeah. Oh, and he failed to mention the part that his girlfriend texted me first, trying to fight me first while I was at work.
Yeah, but
And
that's the
then,
girlfriend. I'm talking about stuff that just happened between the two of y'all.
oh well, yeah, that's it, really.
Okay, hold on. So, Mr. Brown, you have not showing me the videos. You have some sort of proof about posting stuff.
Do I have proof of the videos?
Yeah, but I don't want to see the videos. I just want to see you have proof of her posting stuff on the fake page and that.
Yes, I do.
Please don't show the video.
I got you.
Oh, I want to see these.
Yeah, I don't want to see the video. You know how to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up. Hold on.
If you like got a screenshot of the page with it on there, that's good.
Okay.
The video. Please don't show me the video.
I got you. I'm pulling it up.
You know how to find them?
Yeah, I'm still getting it right now.
Hey, if you can't get them up, just tell me, anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Brown?
I'm still getting it, but I think I said all that she done did. She let me keep thinking. Oh yeah, I said she egged the car too. About the same as the mustard, but that's
Did
another
you
thing.
break up or something? Is that why?
Should I do what?
I said, did the two of you break up or something? Is that?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't even that. It was just we really got to ask her. I don't even know. I don't know why she was doing what she was doing.
All right. Anything else, ma'am?
No, I'm good.
All right. Both of you place your email in the chat. We'll put this in place. And we'll
You say?
I'm going to put it in place. Place your email in the chat so we can email you both the orders.
All right.
All right.
Hold on.
Stay safe. Have a good weekend. Once you place your emails in the chat, you can both leave.
So we don't see the screenshots and stuff because I want to see them because I don't.
You already admitted doing that to his car.
I'm talking about the fake pages and all the videos. That's what I want to see.
That you admitted to doing enough stuff to his car and going over there. I don't need to. I'm not even basing it on that. I'm just basing it on you going over there and doing all this stuff to his car. All right.
Okay.
All right. Y'all put your emails in the chat. Once you do, you can both leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Ronnie out.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If y'all both raise your right hands for me. Mr. Allen, you swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Hill. You got to give me dates the best you can, or at least like
Sure.
tell me most recent event, to the earliest event, what happened, but just the last 6 months or so. Tell me what happened specifically that he did to you.
Okay. Short, sweet, to the point. On the Wednesday, February 8th, my daughter Zoe reached out to her father and asked her for $150 to go to a field trip. He agreed to give her the money. They were supposed to go see him that weekend. I had forgotten that they had a dental appointment that was on me. 2 of the children were having cavities filled, so they could not go. So I had to cancel it. Time went on. Ronnie said nothing about the money. On Tuesday, February 14th, the money was due Monday, February 13th. Ronnie never gave the money. I paid for the field trip so that our child would be able to go. On the 14th of February, I sent Ronnie a message. I said, hey, look, you didn't bring the money. You're not really active in the kids' lives. And you really haven't been abiding by the child support. I mean, the visitation schedule. So for right now, let's pause it. Let's come up with another plan at another time, because right now this is not conducive. It's not working. Child is upset, whatever the case may be. And I asked him, I said, do not come to my home. Whatever you do not come to my home. He sent a message back stating that, he had forgotten about it, whatever the case may be. So again, don't come to my home. So he said in another text message that he had planned to come over here for Valentine's Day to see the children. There had been no plans made. There was nothing said. There was nothing stated. Again, I told him not to come to my home and I will take care of my children. Couple of hours later, my husband and I and the children went to dinner. When we came back from dinner, we pulled up into the cul-de-sac and Ronnie had put gifts for the children on top of the mailbox. I had asked my husband to drive to the other side of the neighborhood so that I can dial 911. I was on the phone with the 911 officer for 17 minutes. I had my husband to keep the children in the car while I walked back to the house to get Ronnie to leave the house. Only thing I told him was to leave. That's all I kept repeating was leave. He recorded me telling him to leave. That's it. He wouldn't leave. I do not know how long he was at my home. I know that I was on the phone with the 911 officer or operator for 17 minutes. During those 17 minutes, I sat on the other side of the neighborhood and watched him sit in front of my home.
So
he
how many
left before the.
How many times have you seen
Sorry?
him outside of your house, just watching your house?
Honestly and truthfully, I've never seen him watching the house. I know that he has come by to put items in the mailbox for the children and then tells me afterward. He's like, oh, by the way, I stopped and I put this in your mailbox. Oh, by the way, and I stopped and I did this. But again, there's no communication. It's not like, hey, Alexia, is this okay? Hey, Alexia, is it okay if I come over? It's nothing. He just shows up.
All right, so hold on. So is there a parenting plan where he has parenting time? It's been signed by the judge in order?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we've been divorced for 8 years. There has been a parenting plan that has been in place for 8 years. Ronnie has not abided by this parenting plan at all. It hasn't been something to where.
Hold on. Stop. When you mean he hasn't abided, I can't make him be a dad or a father and visit when he's supposed to. But there's court order time that he's legally allowed to have parenting time.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Yes, ma'am. I completely understand that. But Mr. Allen.
But hold on, you said something about you weren't gonna let him see her until he, like, something about the money. I mean, what did you mean by that?
No. It had nothing to do. The thing about it was that he had promised her the money for the field trip. He said in the text message that he did not bring her the money for the field trip because I canceled the visit. I canceled the visit because of their dentist appointment. This wasn't, Ronnie is supposed to see the children every other weekend, okay? That has never happened. It has been, oh, hey, can I get the girls? Oh, hey, can I spend a weekend with the girls? So right now I'm in the process of getting that amended and having a new plan put into play because he's supposed to have them overnight from Friday to Sunday. It's never happened. He's supposed to have them every other weekend. It's never happened.
I get it. That's disappointing to the kids.
Right. So what it is that he wants to do the back and forth. But in the process of doing the back and forth, he has to understand you just can't pop up at my home. And see, with him being a police officer, and one thing that he was saying to me as I was telling him to leave my home, and that I had already called the police, is I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. And I feel intimidated because that is his favorite line. I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. So this is why I asked for this TPO, because he constantly states that I'm a police officer too. And so for me, that's very intimidating because it makes me feel like, oh, okay, well, because you're a police officer, you feel like you can just do whatever you can do.
So what's the context where he's telling you I'm a police officer?
Like when I was telling him to leave my home and I had called the police and he was like, well, I'm a police officer too, so they can't do anything. I'm a police officer too.
How many times has he told you that?
I'm sorry?
How many times has he said that to you?
Oh, I've heard it numerous times. Ever since he joined the police force, I've heard, oh, I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. He's come over here with a pistol on his hip. I'm like, hey, can you put that away? I understand that you're a police officer, but you're in the house or you're around the kids. Can you put your gun away? Oh, no, I'm a police officer. Okay.
I mean, does he say it like you said, I'm going to call the police, and then he says they're not going to do anything because I'm a cop too? I mean, why is he? I would say he's a cop. So why is it that you think when he tells you that, in what context and how are you taking it?
I'm taking it as if it's intimidation because he's like, well, I'm a police officer too, but you're at my home unwelcome. You're at my home and I asked you not to be here. I understand that there is a parenting plan. I get it. I got it. But you can't pick and choose as to when you want to follow the parenting plan. You can't. And then two, this happens 7:30, 8 o'clock at night on a school night. So here, my kids are supposed to be taking their showers and getting ready to go to bed. Instead, I'm up here telling him to leave and then having to deal with the police on top of that. So he left 10 minutes before the police got here. The police were the ones that gave me the card and asked me to have the temporary order filed because with him saying, oh, I'm a police officer, you're not saying this in a helping manner. You're saying it more as an intimidation factor.
Okay, okay, I'm trying to get he's dropping off stuff for the kids in the mailbox. I'm assuming you don't have a problem that he's dropping things off for the kids.
I would like to know that you're near my home. See,
well, I want to know what part puts you intimidated, fear for your safety. Tell me about because things that he does that to you.
You're just coming over here. I don't have any idea that you're coming here. Like, I work from home. I'm here by myself the majority of the day.
Has there been,
and then it's like,
right. There's something in the past that makes you in fear for this, like for that?
Yeah, because again, it's the whole I'm a police officer type thing. So it's kind of sort of like you're placing yourself above the law. And you feel like you can just come over here because the kids are here. And that's not anything.
Violence with the two of you in the past, that on top of that violence in the past, now him saying this makes you in fear for your safety.
Yes. I've gone to therapy about all of this stuff. And it's a trigger for me.
Violent acts he's committed against you in the past.
I had my tubes tied after my third daughter. We had gotten into an argument because he was mad that he wanted to have more children. So he pushed me down the steps. It was split level steps. So he pushed me down the steps. So I stopped, I left, and I got the kids from daycare and I went to my mother's house. So, you know, you having that past being there, you know, and then you saying, oh, I'm a police officer, that doesn't work well.
Okay, so there has been violence in the past.
Yes.
Okay, let me hear from him really quickly. Go ahead, sir, let me hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor. Excuse me. A lot of the things that Alexia is saying is false. And the reason why, even that night, which was Valentine's Day, me and Zoe did communicate on, I want to say that Thursday before Valentine's Day, about the $150 for the trip. And me and Alexia talked after that conversation where she says, did I want to come get the girls that weekend? And I said, yeah, sure. And then I said, well, you know, I didn't tell her this, but in my mind, I was like, good, I can give Zoe the money in cash like she requested it. So when that didn't happen, like Saturday came, she didn't say nothing, I didn't say nothing. Sunday came, she didn't say nothing, I didn't say nothing. Monday came, she didn't say nothing, I didn't say nothing. And then Tuesday occurred where, you know, she sends a long text message about how I'm being inconsistent with the girls and all of the, you know, rigmarole as far as like the hurt feelings between, you know, whatever it is that we had at one point or whatever. But then I was giving her information that, hey, I was planning on coming up to give the girls their Valentine's Day gifts along with Zoe's $150 for the Tennessee trip. So I didn't notice at the bottom of the I didn't notice at the bottom of the long message that she stated that not to come to my house. I didn't see that part. Previously, my mom has given gifts that my mom wanted me to, you know, transport up to the house. I will notify Lex, hey, you know, the gifts that my mom got the girls are on your mailbox, you know, so forth and so on. But on this particular night, I didn't feel comfortable with leaving cash money just, you know, in the mailbox. I didn't see anybody at the house, so I'm assuming that they are already on the camping trip. And all I asked was, hey, is there a better place that I can put this money for Zoe's trip other than the mailbox? I never got a response. I never noticed that they were in the neighborhood. I never noticed that they came into the complex or anything like that. The only time that I even known something was up was when I heard somebody yelling down the street, get out in front of my house. And I didn't even register what the person was saying, let alone, you know, who it was. So then I rolled down my window and I can hear his Lex saying, get off in front of my house, you crazy bastard. I have a gun and I will use it because I feel threatened. Mind you, she never saw me. You know, I wasn't in uniform or anything like that. I had gone to court that day, so I was in a suit. All I was there for was to drop my girls off their Valentine's Day gifts, and then I departed. So even after that incident happened, I almost made it halfway home when Zoe called me, or I'm sorry, text me, and she said that, you know, hey, Dad, I never got a chance to see what you left for Valentine's Day gifts. What was it? I said, baby girl, I left a stuffed animal, some flowers, and I left you your money for the Tennessee trip. She says, I never got it. Mom threw it all away. And then I want to say that following Thursday or something like that, I get the money back. I get my third daughter's cell phone because I got her a cell phone for Christmas. I got that, the charger, the $150, a balled up piece of paper, and a note. I don't even remember what the note said. But the only reason why I went through and got Zoe and Lauren's cell phones is because I got tired of trying to mitigate things with her all of these years. Like when we say, yeah, I've been inconsistent with, seeing the girls every other week or every other week, it was because it was something always come up. The girls got an appointment, the girls got soccer, the girls got this, the girls got that. We're out of town. I never got my opportunity to see the girls. So I'm not even upset that the fact that, a TPO was filed in this regard. It's the fact that I don't have any real communications with this lady, other than text messages, other than holidays, other than birthdays. I don't have any contact.
Mr. Allen, let me ask you a question. I mean, why didn't you just Zelle, Cash App, or something her the money for the?
Because Zoe requested it in cash, so I assumed it was
the
cash.
adult, her mama, or I mean, Zoe's not the parent.
But that's, I had asked Lex. I even asked, hey, is it okay that I give Zoe this money? And she said, if Zoe asks you, I guess it's okay. So it was in cash. It was never discussed that we can do Zelle or anything like that.
We don't do that anymore. How about we don't let the kids make the decision? That's why they're called kids.
Well, I didn't know at that time, I didn't know, what was going on other than, she had asked me for the money and I was doing my part to give the money. That's all I was doing.
If it's going to be something for a field trip, the parents still got to sign it and probably send a check or something like that. So how about we not let the kids make the decision who's going to do what? Number one. Number two, explain what she says about, you keep saying I'm a cop and they're not going to do anything. And let me preface this with something, Mr. Allen. I was a cop for 15 years before I went to law school. So I want to know about that.
Okay. So I take pride in my job. I take pride in the fact that I try to do good work and everything like that. So even that comment of I'm a cop is like, I take pride in this. Like, I bust my tail to become a detective. Like, she didn't help me with none of that. This is a decision that came up after we got divorced. Like, it came up 2 years after we got divorced. So even with me trying to figure out what I'm going to do for a career, whatever, I did security for a couple of years. And I said, I think I got a passion for being in law enforcement. That's the only thing that came about that. And she even came to my graduation for me being in.
Why do you tell her that the cops aren't going to do anything to you because you're a cop?
I didn't say that. I said I'm a cop. You're calling the cops on a cop. I'm saying I'm a cop. Like I'm not doing anything wrong. If you want me to leave, I'm leaving. And I begin to proceed to pull off, and then she calls me a crazy bastard again. I have that video.
Okay, and I'll watch it if you want to share it. But you understand, you can call the cops on a cop. It doesn't matter. One just got arrested in Doraville for murder.
Well, in that same regard, Yana.
So I'm saying, hold on. I'm saying there was a cop in Doraville that they just arrested for murder. So just because he's a cop didn't mean allegedly he could not commit a crime. So there you go. So let's not, go there. Okay.
Well, I'm not even trying to sit here and say that I was trying to intimidate her or anything like that. I'm telling you, I take pride in the work that I've done as a police officer. It's not even on no rah. I'm trying to, be bigger than the law that she's trying to paint. I take pride in my work. That's all. That's as simple as that.
Mr. Allen, I did good work for 15 years doing that. I have all the respect in the world. But if anyone starts to use it like I'm a cop, you can't do anything to me, that makes me angry because I never would have done that, one. And two, you shouldn't do that. And she obviously knows you're a cop, so you don't need to keep reminding her. So what I'm trying to get to here is figure out if this is just because she doesn't want you to go by her house without being invited. If you got something to leave, if you got a gift to leave for your daughter, mail it. She obviously doesn't want you at his house. There's just alternatives to this. You're not married anymore. I can't make you follow the parenting plan, not follow the parenting plan. But Mr. Allen, I'll tell you this, the only people that suffers when you don't follow through, because I'm not sure how old your kids are, but I think they get the gist of every other weekend they're supposed to be with dad. Okay. So you need to be in their lives. They need both parents in their lives, whether it be two daddies, two mamas, a mama and a daddy, three mamas and three daddies. I don't care. But these kids depend on you to show up when you're supposed to show up. And they don't want weak excuses. They want to be with their parent, period. So when you don't show up and they're sitting there, all I can imagine are these kids sitting there saying, yay, it's dad's weekend, we're going to go hang out with dad. And then you not show up. That's disappointing to these kids. And I'm telling you, I bet you make time for other things. And your first priority needs to be your children. One, not just giving them cash because they want to go on a field trip. They need more than you to pay for a field trip or making co-payments and things like that. They need you to be in their lives and spend time with them. That is the most valuable thing you have that you can give your children, is give them your time. That's what children want, is your time. Sitting there, talking to them, taking them somewhere, hanging out with them. They just want time. They want your time. And you got to make it. You got to make that time. You got to tell whatever's going on the weekend, you need to start being consistent. If you're not, and she's filing for a modification, they're going to look at how often you've exercised your visitation, sir. And we have to take that into account, because we have to look at what this is actually doing to these children. What's in the best interest of these children? You need to be active in your children's life, period. Not just paying for things. You've got to do that. Stop showing up at her house. If there's money for a field trip, communicate with her, Zelle her the money, cash out mom the money. It's not up to the kids. They're still children. Hold on a second, Mr. Allen. Hold on, come back to you. What is it you want to say, Ms. Hill?
Your Honor, I have the text messages that he is speaking of. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I don't have whatever feelings. In the text messages, I did ask him, why didn't he cash out? Why didn't he Zelle? Why didn't he do anything? It wasn't my decision to ask him for the money. I have never asked Ronnie for anything regarding the children. Never have. Zoe wanted to ask him for the money. She asked me if it was okay. Fine. Our daughters are 11, 10, and 9. 12, 10, and 9. My 12-year-old does not want to go with him.
Well,
When it's time for visitation, I'm just saying this for the protection order. I understand. I get it. I understand it. I'm just saying this for the protection order.
Hold on. Here's the thing. They're kids. And, I have people coming from me and say, oh, when I got them, they don't want to go with their dad. Or when I got them, they don't want to go back to their mom. They're kids. That's when you step up and say, that's your dad. Go have a great time and stuff like that. Unless there's something.
But Your Honor, it's the inconsistency. They won't hear from him. He'll send a text message and he'll say, hey, are the girls available?
Ms. Hill, and that's what I'm talking to him about. Mr. Allen, you've got to show up for these kids. Now, and let him answer this. Mr. Allen, take yourself off mute. Has she refused to let you see your children?
Number of times, Your Honor.
What's that?
A number of times.
What does a number of times mean?
Over the last 8 years, I probably have been only able to see my girls.
Wait. Have you only
6
been
times.
able to see them how many times?
6. Because when she's upset, when she's doing stuff like this, like I can't see the girls. Like she had an issue with my mom. She has an issue with my wife. Whatever comes up, she finds a way so I can't see my girls. And I've never took it under my best interest to go down and file contempt of court because of the parenting plan. I never did any of those things, and that's my fault. So from here on, I do understand that this is the route we have to take.
You're telling me over the last several years, you've only seen your daughter 6 times.
No, she's only let me get them for the weekend or whatever the case may be. She's cut visits short because they had other priorities that they had going on. Like I'm saying, like if it was up to me, I would get my girls every weekend without hassle. Like I don't have no problem with getting my girls. I don't even want her to sit here and paint that picture. I don't have a problem with getting my girls.
Has she refused to let you have time?
Yes.
How many times has she said, no, they can't come this weekend?
Your Honor, if I had every text message that we had, it's over 30 in the last 8 years. It's been over 30. She tries to connect it to, oh, you're not paying child support. I've been paying child support for 8 years. I had a little, maybe 2 or 3 month realm where I didn't pay, and then I got everything caught up. I was in the rears. Everything's caught up. From the time I became in law enforcement, I have not missed any kind of child support. So she was using child support as a rate, as the way I can get. I cannot get visitation.
Stop. Child support is not connected to visitation. Visitation is not connected to child support. He never pays a dime, and he has a legal parenting plan. You have to give him the time. And sir, you can't withhold child support if she's not allowing visitation. Neither of the two are connected to one another, period.
Tell her that.
You have to pay. She has to allow you unless she's in fear for their safety some way. Ma'am, have you filed any kind of modification?
I actually have the paperwork now. And the text message that he is speaking of, I've printed those, and there are text messages where I am asking him to come get the children. There are text messages to where I told him that his mother reached out to me to have lunch with the girls so that she can have a relationship with the girls. We did that. I said, hey, Ronnie, the kids want to get to know you. Hey, Ronnie, do you want the kids this weekend? As a matter of fact, Your Honor, that's how the whole transparency, that's how the whole issue happened anyway. The issue happened when I said, if you notice, Mr. Allen said, Alexia said, do you want the girls this weekend? Not, hey, Alexia, it's my weekend. Not Alexia, hey, I'm coming to get the girls at such and such time. Will they be ready? I said, do you want the girls this weekend? That is how the majority of the visits start. Do you want the girls this weekend? Would you like to spend time with the girls this weekend? Hey, your mom doesn't have a relationship with the girls. Would you like to see the girls? I have all of this in text message.
Okay, here's what I want to know. You got the one where there was an allegation of him pushing you down the stairs. What other violent acts has occurred in the past?
There have been holes punched in walls. I've been called the B word ever since. I have problems. I mean, besides the holes punched in the walls, me being thrown down, and says, oh, and I had a remote thrown at me. So those are the three main things. The remote missed me, hit the wall, and shattered.
Mr. Allen, what do you have to say about that?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, the allegations of violence in the past, what I'm understanding is why she's fearful now, if I'm understanding her correct.
That could be true. I have no comments on that because like that happened so long ago. I'm not gonna sit here and bring up everything that was ever been done between her and I. I remember us getting into an argument a number of times. I remember her leaving the house for a number of days. I remember a couple of things, but I'm not gonna sit here and paint the picture as if we didn't have our disagreements. We never had any counselings or anything like that. So I do understand that.
I'm not talking about disagreements. I'm talking about holes punching in her walls, pushing her down the stairs, or those violent acts. There's a difference in disagreements, yelling and screaming at each other. I'm talking about physical.
The pushing down the stairs, the argument started at the top of the stairs. She pushed me, and then when I did like this or something, she went flying down the stairs. I didn't make contact with her shoulder, upper body, or anything like that. It was all her arms, like, stop trying to push me, and she fell down the stairs.
But these other punching holes in the walls, these other violent acts. I mean,
I don't remember punching holes in the wall.
So, Your Honor, the incident that he's speaking about when I did take the children and when I did leave for a few days, that was that incident. I picked up the children and I left. That is the incident that he is referring to. The thing about it is, Your Honor, is that I have a fear of Mr. Allen getting the children and not bringing them back. I have a fear of,
why do you
know what I'm saying? The worst of the worst happen.
I think he's not going to bring them back.
I just don't think he'll bring them back. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that he has all of these allegations saying, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, which is completely false. Completely false.
Why would you think he doesn't bring them back? You say he doesn't exercise his visitation. So if he doesn't come get them, why are he going to bring them back? I don't know.
See, this is the thing. It's so sporadic. And so when it's like, oh, hey, I want to come get the girls. Oh, hey, like I said, we can go 6 months without hearing from him. We can go 3 months without hearing from him. And again, so
I have
like,
made
when you pick up the phone and say, oh, I want to talk to the girls, I didn't cut you off. I did not cut you off. When you say, oh, I want to come pick up the girls, it's like, okay, are you going to bring them back? Are they going to be okay? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, and then this is new. This is new. All of him, we hadn't heard from him, hadn't seen him. All of this is new. Because he hasn't been around.
So am I right? You're fearful for your safety because of what's happened in the past and him coming by and making the comments about being a cop and things like that.
Yes, Your Honor.
So where are your exchanges for visitation supposed to take place? how are you supposed to exchange the children? Is he supposed to go to your house, pick them up? Or are you supposed to take and drop them off? What's the exchange supposed to be?
When I did set something up with him, I would meet him at a location and he would pick up the girls. And when it was time for him to drop them off, we would meet up at that same location and I would pick them up.
What does the parenting plan say?
The parenting plan says he's supposed to come to the house, but with me being fearful of him, like I said, I'm sorry I didn't file any of this sooner. I haven't had time nor the money. I've been fearful of him. So I would have him meet me at public places to get the girls for the exchange.
So where is it, like, if he exercises his visitation, where is it you would like him to meet you to pick up the children for?
He can meet me at McDonald's. McDonald's on North Ridge Road.
When is his next visitation weekend?
Oh, ma'am, just like I stated before, it was never anything continuous. It was never anything set in stone. It was never anything that he started or finished.
Right,
so,
but you every other weekend. So was last weekend supposed to be his weekend? Is this weekend supposed to be his weekend?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, Your Honor. I don't know.
I mean, in your parenting plan, does it say first, third, and fifth, or just every other weekend?
No, ma'am. It just says every other. It's just when I say it's basic, it's completely basic. I filed for divorce, and I was trying just to hurry up and get the divorce over with. So it really wasn't an actual thing that set down. But the modification, it has all of that in the modification. But I don't have a date yet for the modification.
It would be this weekend, Your Honor.
Do you have Ms. Sandifer, is there like an EVF lawyer that's going to represent her in that, or is she applying?
I don't have a lawyer.
Not at this point, Your Honor. I can talk to her about if AVLF, has any services that they can offer and how to go about that.
All right.
But see, Your Honor, again, with him not being consistent, like we're going out of town this weekend and the next weekend we're going out of town as well. And see, these are items that have already been paid for because like I said, he hasn't been consistent.
Okay, so I understand that, but I want you to listen to me. If his weekend is every other weekend and you've got two plans, then when y'all get back, that starts his weekend, then it's every other. So you can't make plans for the children on his weekend. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. But the thing, Mr. Allen, I want you to hear me, that if she doesn't make plans for the kids on your weekends, and you don't get those children, that does not look good for you. It's about these kids, Mr. Allen. All they want is your time. And these are 3 little girls. And let me tell you, what they're looking at is you on how a man is supposed to treat women. They're looking at you and what you do and the way your relationship with them shows them. You are setting the bar for them in the future to look at how men are supposed to treat them. So if you're not making them a priority, they're going to think that these men that they date in the future don't need to make them a priority. Like Miss Free and her husband do. They give their little girl, they make this big deal over everything. Give her flowers, give her gifts, so that when she's old enough and she starts dating, she's not impressed with these little boys. They're going to give her flowers or candy. So the men that they're setting the standard for have to be way better than her dad, who's a great guy. So, some guy comes along, wants to date Harper, and they send her flowers. She's not going to be impressed because dad gives her flowers all the time. You got to figure out a way to impress her, and that's with time. That is with time, Mr. Allen. Little girls need both parents. Little boys need both parents. This is what you're setting. They're looking at you. So right now, if it's true, you're not seeing them, then you're showing them that they're not that important. Other things are important. But Ms. Hill, also, you got to let him do it. But that's all going to be used against you, but I'm not telling you anything. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put in here that you can't have contact with Ms. Hill. Don't go by her house. And I'm going to let anything in the modification can modify this. And y'all will meet at that McDonald's on, you said, North Ridge Road?
So, Your Honor, I have a question. So even though we're supposed to be going out of town, how does it, because I paid for activities for them to do this weekend and next
Here's
week.
the thing. I'm telling him his every other weekend, because you paid for out of town trips this weekend and next weekend. that in 3 weeks, that, okay, let me pull up my calendar now to give you some dates. So if you're out of town this weekend, which is the 10th and the 17th, then his weekend would be, if it starts, Friday is the 24th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
I mean, you've made trips, whatever. I don't know all, if he's not showing up, don't know, haven't heard evidence on that. I'm just telling you, you got a
Yes, Your
chance
Honor.
right now. You need to, that's your weekend. So it'll be the 24th and her weekend. Then you go there every other weekend. So you got 2 weeks notice, sir, to make some plans to spend some quality time with your kids and show them.
Your Honor, can I speak?
Show them how they should be treated by young men that they're going to be dating in the future, and they need to be a priority for you because you're going to show them. Just think about it. When they start dating, do you want the guys that they date to treat them like this, not show up, not do that? You don't. Right? But I'm going to let the modification modify any of this. But right now, stay away from Miss Hill. Don't go to her house, except for the only reason you can, have contact with her if the children are sick and y'all need to contact something about the children only. If there's any money for field trips, whatever, that goes to Miss Hill. She's the parent handling that. But Miss Hill, if he's exercising his time and your children want to do something, they need to call Mr. Allen and say, my best friend Mandy has a birthday party Sunday. It's your weekend, Dad. Can I please go to Mandy's birthday party? And let him tell them if they can do it on his weekend. Just like if it was your weekend, they need to ask you. I mean, that's just kind of common sense. So we'll put this in place for 6 months, but we'll let the modification people tell it. Mr. Allen, don't. I mean, and the reason I'm putting this in place is because of the fear of the violence that she has said has occurred in the past. And you hadn't denied it. Make an excuse for her falling down the stairs, but and yes, cops called on. Judges, lawyers, everybody can get a cop. Nobody's above the law. They can all have a cop called on. And hopefully those cops will do their job no matter what your type it is. So both of you place your email in the chat. Once you do, we'll send you copies of the orders. Once you place your email in the chat, you can both leave the meeting. All right, I need